Top 10 Most Famous Queens in History. Whether hapless pawns, political power players, or famous princesses, these women broke royal molds. Welcome to History or Mystery, where we count down the top 10 most famous queens. This list includes female kings whose royal legacy still fascinates the public. These queens defied expectations and changed what it means to be a queen, whether via their leadership or their untimely deaths. Number 10. Mary, Queen of Scots 1542 to 1587. At 6 days old, married to a short-lived French king, and with claim to the English throne, Mary, Queen of Scots was destined for history. France-born Mary ruled Scotland with scandal. Elizabeth I, her cousin, was dubious of her asylum request in England. Mary was executed. Noble birth burdened Mary, Queen of Scots. Number 9. Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Elizabeth I's constitutional monarchy over 16 Commonwealth realms is mostly decorative. Elizabeth's dynasty remains popular. Since Diana's terrible death, the Queen has shown a remarkable capacity to adapt to her subjects' evolving expectations. Elizabeth II, the longest reigning monarch, illustrates you can teach an old queen new things. Number 8. Maria Theresa of Austria 1717 to 1780. Maria Theresa, the only female Habsburg ruler, defied expectations. She built military forces, education, and commercial industry in her enormous kingdom with little training to lead. Maria Theresa was the last Habsburg ruler, but one of the most effective. Her enlightened absolutism didn't help Marie Antoinette. Number 7. Catherine the Great of Russia 1729 to 1796. From lowly German princess to Russian empress, Catherine the Great made Russia a significant European power by conquering additional territory and reforming religion and education. Catherine was a magnificent empress who modernized Russia, not a horse-loving woman. Number 6. Anne Boleyn of England 1501 to 1536. 500 years after her death, Anne Boleyn remains a controversial figure. Henry VIII divorced his wife and the Catholic Church to marry Boleyn, a fashionable courtier. 3 years later, Anne was killed for incest, adultery, and treason. Elizabeth I's mother, a crafty seductress or victim of gossip, is tragic and fascinating. Number 5. Nefertiti of Egypt 1370 to 1330 BC. Nefertiti's fame goes beyond her beauty. She wasn't her husband's sister. Nefertiti was more powerful than most Egyptian queens, governing alongside her husband and founding a monotheist religion. Nefertiti may have ruled as pharaoh alone, proving her historical significance. Number 4. Victoria of England 1819 to 1901. Queen Victoria's reign is associated with England's imperial rise. Victoria was a British Empire icon and a social reformer for the increasing urban population. Victoria was known as the grandmother of Europe since most of her 9 offspring married into European kingdoms. Number 3. Marie Antoinette of France 1755 to 1793. Marie Antoinette, the epitome of aristocratic excess, died for revolution. France's final queen before the French Revolution remains contentious 200 years later. Was she a scheming, snobbish harpy or a naive political pawn? Her lavish life and terrible demise were crucial to the French Revolution. Marie Antoinette is a fascinating historical figure and pop culture phenomenon due to her many stories and scandalous intrigue. Number 2. Elizabeth I of England 1533 to 1603. Elizabeth I, the Virgin Queen, Gloriana, or Good Queen, best defined an era. She directed England's colonial expansion. Her sponsorship produced many English masterpieces, including Shakespeare. Elizabeth I, who ended the Tudor dynasty, is one of England's most famous queens. Number 1. Cleopatra 7, Ptolemaic Queen of Egypt 69 to 30 BC. Historic. She died famously. She was a political genius who ruled ancient Egypt alone after ruling with her relatives. She shaped two empires as Julius Caesar's baby mama. Her fatal relationship with Mark Antony has captivated painters and storytellers for over 2 millennia. Cleopatra, the wealthiest woman in history, was the most popular queen.